doing a little extensive Bible study with somebody who still will fuse free will. They'll say, like, I know God's sovereign, but he's not forcing anything on anybody, or, to that effect, that we're not puppets. And goodness gracious, you said God was sovereign, but then you just removed it. That is his sovereignty. That is his sovereignty. That everything is set in stone. Every good thing, every bad thing, every rotten thing that's ever happened on this earth. No, well, God can't do anything, have anything to do with evil. No, that's run through Satan. That's why Jesus said, you're of your father, the devil. Boom. Spirit moves man, man doesn't move spirit. Everything is set. Sheep are born lost. They get the call. They have their demons until the Holy Spirit removes them. You can't go lay your hands on somebody and move the spirit world. It giggles at you as it hates you. Demons don't like any of you, whether you belong to them or not. The fallen angels. Okay. But let me pause. Where was I going with that? Yeah, the next thought I was moving to, and then sidetracked myself. In the biblical times, they could, because when you're living in the Bible in real time, the earth is supernatural. It will be that way again when we're living in the book of Revelation in real time. As soon as the deadly wound to the right eye or 2 days afterwards. So I would say at the deadly wound moment. Anyway, let's get started. Mark, and then we will continue with Nebuchadnezzar's salvational story. And when Jesus was passed over again by ship to the other side, many people gathered unto him, and he was nigh unto the sea. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet. He besought him greatly, saying, my little daughter, so this is a sheep who's been birthed by the Holy Spirit, to know who Jesus is, or to at least know that he is of God. He didn't free willy his way into that, which is what that movie was all about. They laugh at free will. It is the funniest thing to them, to Mystery Babylon. It said, my daughter lieth at the point of death. I pray thee, come and lay thy hands. Look at that. We just y'all, that ain't the first time that's ever happened. Believe it or not. This is between me, you, and the Holy Spirit. So if you think I lied and knew that was coming, how could I sit here and teach the Bible to you and be a liar? Did not know that was coming. I was thinking of Acts of the Apostles that we just finished. So anyway, that she may be healed and she shall live. And Jesus went with him, and much people followed after him and thronged him. They were all over him. And a certain woman which had an issue with blood 12 years and had suffered many things of many physicians and had spent all that she had and was nothing bettered, but rather grew worse. When she had heard of Jesus, came in the press behind and touched his garment. So all the people were around, but she just made her way. She's fighting her way through, and she touched him. She wanted to reach out for that healing power that was put in her heart to do. Well, here it is. For she said, I may touch but his clothes. I shall be whole. Obviously, I've read this before, so I knew the story. but I don't pre-read these because I like to organically read the Bible like you would read the Bible. And if I run into something, I want to run into it at real time, study in real time, go to the New Living, show you how to study, maybe to get some understanding. On epistles, we do a lot in the New Living. If something's not right, how to go to blueletterbible.com and look words up in the Greek, so on and so forth. So, and let's just face it, I'm lazy. I don't have a lot of time, so I don't pre-read and prep anything. Sit down, read the Bible just like I did when it was just a Bible. I used to read it in my bed after a shower. I would read one column at a time. 2020, started doing them online thanks to some friends suggesting, as I was putting videos on Facebook beginning in 2020, they were like, why don't you use Zoom? And another one said, why don't you start doing Bible studies? I don't think that person watches my Bible studies, but she suggested it. That was nice of her. Anyway, and straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up. So she was healed immediately. And she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, so he felt that power of him, turned him about in the press. So everybody's pressing around, but he turned and he was like, all these people. And he said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest thou, who touched me? Oh, I'm so full of it. Caffeine is still hanging in there, I guess, huh? All right, let's continue on with Nebuchadnezzar's salvational story. I saw a dream which made me afraid, he is saying. And the thoughts upon my bed and visions of my head troubled me. Therefore, I made a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. And came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. Didn't this happen in Daniel 2? Yes, it did. And I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But at last, Daniel, who saved the day in chapter 2, but at last Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God. Past tense, because he now believes in the one true God, but he's telling you his story. In whom is the spirit of the holy gods, and before him I told the dream. Oh, Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because this is basically just talking about master of the metaphysical world. They were all dabbling, all the Babylonians, they were dabbling in astrology and all type of what you would call the metaphysical. And definition of metaphysical. So they were wise men, astrologers, Chaldeans, relating to metaphysics, the essentially metaphysical question of nature of mind or characteristic of metaphysical poets. What is the metaphysical in simple terms? A type of philosophy or study that uses broad concepts to help define reality and our own understanding of it. Metaphysical studies generally seek to explain inherent universal elements of reality, which are not easily discovered or experienced in our everyday life. Anyway, astrology is considered part of the metaphysical study. However, at a deeper metaphysical level, astrology can be seen as that higher place where science and religion meet. Religion? It was always meant to be part of our ancient doctrine that at one time fused art, religion, philosophy, and science into one internally consistent whole. What does the study of metaphysics include? Nature, human mind, definition, meaning of existence, nature of space, time, casualty. How is astrology linked to metaphysics? Astrology serves as a tool for spirituality by offering insight into our personality traits, life events. It's very satanic. Metaphysics of astrology. So anyway, If I use that out of context, my apology, but I have heard that that's what all that was. But that's what these guys were into. They were magicians, astrologers. They called them the Chaldeans because that was kind of like their the name of their race or culture or tribe. And what was he said? Oh, Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in thee, plural, pagan, and no secret troubleth thee. Tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen and the interpretation thereof. Thus were the visions of mine head in my bed, and I saw and behold a tree, Belteshazzar. I saw this tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. Now, this tree is going to represent Nebuchadnezzar, as he is the head of the kingdom that feeds the whole earth. And the Lord is going to bust him down to like a beast for 7 years, and he's going to eat grass. His fingers are going to be like claws. And yeah, the tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof. Anyway, that I need it. These are the visions upon my head. I saw and behold a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. And the tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of the earth, because God, of course, has ordained all this, so it goes up to heaven. But Babylon ran the earth, so they're of the end of the earth, it said. And the leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, which means food for all. And the beasts of the field had shadow under it, so everything thrived. Humans, animals, everything, because of this mighty kingdom. The beasts of the field had shadow under it. The fowls of heaven dwelt in the bowels thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. This kingdom would be like you having the United States run the world, or China running the world. Everybody's fed by it. Everybody's taken care of by it. We will continue tomorrow. I'm glad you're here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.